I wanted to bring us here today because it's just so inspiring, you know, to be around all of this innovation. You think about it, in 1961, I mean, we were just starting the space program, and JFK didn't even make it to see it, but it takes somebody, it takes an organization to have the integrity, to have the foresight to put those things in play, you know, and that's what a moonshot's all about. That's what, again, that's why we're great. And translate that over into the foundation, and we're not putting a man on the moon, but we're taking a moonshot, but we know why. And the reason why is what we stated yesterday, and that's to inspire and empower bold actions. And when you start to break that down, well, what does inspire? Well, or how is that different from motivation, or motivate? And motivation means that somebody needs to be encouraged to do something. If you have a team that needs motivation, you have the wrong team. This team is already motivated. We are all motivated. Everybody here is for a reason. So it's up to us to look for challenges to inspire one another to elevate our game to a certain stature. That's what inspiration is. It's not needing encouragement to do your best. It's trying to understand the big picture and why it must be done. So that's why inspiration is a big part of our why. Empower. Give somebody the tools, give the team the tools they need to be successful. Whether that's our veteran community who's suffering, like Adam was speaking about. We're using our personal situation to highlight something that's much bigger, and we don't want that to ever be misconstrued like it's specific to us or we want to highlight us. We're taking this situation because it is not specific and it's not special to us. It's a big issue that is a wide-ranging deal. So that's the reason that it's important to tell these stories. That's why we want to tell your stories, you guys' stories here in the next 3 months. But empowering is giving people, whatever it is, entity, organization, person, the tools they need to be successful. Bold actions. It was bold of JFK to say in 1961, we're going to put a man on the moon. But it took somebody to say that. It took a leader to get in front of everybody to damn what anybody else thinks. We're going to the moon. That's a bold action. But we need bold actions to get to endpoints that are difficult to get to. And so that's where this first part of our why comes into play. Inspiration, to inspire, empower, bold actions. Challenge the status quo. Right now, in our case, that is the current level of care that's given to our veteran community. As we know, it's predicated on psychotherapy and medication, which is not working. That is the status quo. The status quo is saying, hey, you have to wait 4 weeks for an appointment. You have to wait to get any type of answer, and then to get there, to be mistreated, and to talk like you're making something up. That's the status quo right now. Martin Luther King said in 1965 that when the moral law is at odds with the man-made law, then we have injustice. But when the moral law is squared with the man-made law, then we have justice. So we're not crying or we're not complaining, but right now the moral law is not square with the man-made law. It's not. So again, we're not waiting for anybody else to change it, because the status quo has been the same for the last 15 years now. We're going to do it ourselves. And we're going to start the revolution, and then it always takes more, but it takes a small team to start it, and that's what we're doing here, challenging the status quo. How do you challenge status quo after being this right here? You have to provide a superior alternative. You have to have a viable solution that is better than the current solution. And then you have to show evidence to support that. We have it. We have it. And it's not just us. You've heard Dr. Gordon yesterday. Thousands of scientific articles supporting it, 1,300 documented medical cases now, and because of this foundation, over 120 veteran cases that supports a superior alternative. Okay, so when you think about what each of us needs to do in our individual sections, should we tweet this? Should I pursue this relationship? Should I do this media interview? Does it fall in line with these things? These are our decision-making metrics. This is the first end of it. And it's really simple when you know your why. Because your why is everything. Because your why is your belief. We believe that we embody these things, and because of that, we can get to the destination that we want to go. We can say in 2016, we can have this enacted in law by 2020. We can do those things. And the majority of people are going to tell you that you can. So make your mind up now to buy into this and to use this as your decision-making matrix on, is this action in line with what we as an organization believe, or is it not? And if it's not, let's go back to the drawing board. Challenge the status quo. How can we do things different? Not just to be different, but to be more efficient. Look at SpaceX from today and look at NASA. NASA says, okay, we need to take the shuttle from one location to the other. Let's build a humongous contraption that doesn't even work on the road, and let's transport it. That takes up all kinds of resources and manpower. Then we have a civilian company come in years later and says, that's the stupidest fucking thing I ever heard. Let's just put the place where he built it right next to the pad. Well, NASA's like, well, yeah, but we already built this. Well, so what? Change it. Challenge the status quo. You'll find oftentimes the status quo, people do things just because that's what somebody else did. That's what their parents did. That's what a boss did. You really find the foundational belief behind something, people don't know it. That's why it's important to know your why.